You're welcome back. You're watching TV3 New Day. It's now time for the Female Factor. This is our special segment celebrating female leaders across sectors. Now, this morning, I am thrilled to have in the studios an accomplished female leader, amazing politician, MP for La Dadekotopong, Rita Odoley Sowah. Good morning. Now, Odoley. Yeah. Good morning.
Good morning.
How do you say you're welcome in Ghana?
Ojefe.
It's great to have you in the studios.
Yeah, it's good to be here with you too.
Now, this is a belated congratulations. Well, congratulations for being the first female MP for La Dadekotopong at a time like this when we are asking for more women, female representation in parliament and other decision-making positions. It's great to see you breaking that glass ceiling and making it possible.
Thank you.
How are things in the constituency?
By the grace of God, we are sailing. And we know we'll get ashore, definitely.
Amen. Amen. Now, we've started the segment to get to know some of our female leaders, appreciate you better, and understand the work that you're doing. Now, you took the first step to contest and win in your constituency. First woman to ever do it. And it's great to see you in Parliament. The biggest question on a lot of our minds is how you did it, and how things are going for you in the House.
Okay. Thank you very much. And I want to say a very good morning to the good people of Dadekotopong. They are watching because I informed them I was coming here.
Amazing.
Yeah. You said the first female member of Parliament for Dadekotopong. Actually, by the grace of God, also the first female municipal chief executive.
Yes.
Yeah. And you know, growing up, I had the passion to serve people, to help people. And I want to give this to Mary Mensah of Daily Graphic. She's my sister-in-law, and she inspired me greatly. You know, in the community where I lived, when there are programs or when I go around people's homes to tell them the need for them to vote, because if you do not vote, you will not get the leader that you want. And so at a point then she said, this is politics. You need to start somewhere. And so I decided to go into the assembly. But unfortunately, due to certain issues, she printed my first posters for me. Oh. Yeah, but I couldn't go. And so along the line, I became a councillor at the La Sub Metro, because we were under the Accra Metropolitan Assembly at the time. And so I was the finance and administration chairperson. And so it inspired me on. I got the opportunity to also work with Honorable Nyamasana Mwale, and I kept going. The road wasn't easy, even working with him. And so it came to the time when La was taken out or carved out of AMA, and then they wanted the municipal chief executive. I also applied. There were 3 other men who applied with me. We went through the process, and by the grace of God, I was appointed or nominated. But it wasn't easy. It wasn't an easy road. And that's one thing I want people to know. For women going into politics, the men sometimes will gang up against you, saying that they are not sure you can do it and all that. So I went through that experience. And so it took for a year before I was appointed. And these same men came back to say, after I said my term, one of them said, I thought you couldn't do it.
Did you ask them why they said that?
He just told me the fact that I'm a woman, and it was a new assembly, it was a big municipality, and so he didn't believe in me. But after I had done the work, and then he said, congratulations. And this same person really ganged up against me.
Again?
No.
Okay, before?
At that time. And so for me, one word I have is never give up. And so I knew women have to be there. We needed to partner the men out there. And so 2017, I was out of the municipal chief executive. So 2019, I decided to go into Parliament. And so I went through the primaries with my party. I belong to the National Democratic Congress. So I went for primaries in 2019, and I emerged victorious. And one thing with me is I try to work with people from all walks of life. I don't look at your political affiliation. I don't look at where you come from in Ghana. But for me, if I need to help you or I need to work with you, I do that. And so being with the people most of the time, they voted for me at the primaries. And in 2020, they voted for me at the general elections. And I found myself in Parliament by the grace of God. And going into Parliament, you know, the assembly system is
different.
It's different.
Yes.
With the assembly, you are the head over there. You are working with the technocrats. You know what to do and what not to do. That is in the area of resources coming to the assembly, and then doing the work for the people.
But as an MP?
But as an MP, government gives us resources.
Right.
That is, we are looking at the common fund, we are looking at the GET fund, we are looking at the health fund, and you also have to go and lobby for other projects. And the funds that are coming, they are woefully inadequate, and the people expect more from you. And so sometimes it's a bit challenging when you tell them you don't have the resources, you need to look for it and all that.
And it looks like, as a member of Parliament, outside your responsibilities, which we know, you have to also offer some personal help to a lot of people in your constituencies. Like people come to you with their personal requests. And being a woman, I assume, you know, because you play a motherly role as well, you might get a lot more of that. Yeah.
And so I would say for my constituency, we, as Member of Parliament from the NDC side, we are not at the assembly. The municipal chief executive is from the ruling government. So most of the people do not go to the assembly. They come to me, they fall on me. And
what kinds of things are you required to do for them?
Sometimes somebody is sick, the person wants to go to hospital, somebody will come, there's an emergency, I have to do a surgery, their school fees and all that, maybe the funerals, the outdoorings.
How are you expected to fund all of these things?
Only God knows. You are there, so you have to look for the resources to do it. And
is there a special fund available for you to be able to, you know,
no, the funds
the
funds that I mentioned that government gives. For instance, let me talk about health. Health, for instance, the people who come with their health needs. Sometimes, most of the time, I do it personally. But the few that I'll take to the assembly...
When you say personally, you mean you use your own money?
Yeah, I use my own money.
Resources?
Yeah, my own resources. And sometimes you take it to the assembly. These people will not bring the right documents for it to be processed through the health fund. And so I discussed with the health director. She'll tell me she needs the right documents.
So the health fund available to the assembly is supposed to take care of people in the constituency when they are sick?
You can't use all for that. There are things, for instance, when you come to the polyclinic, they were putting up a facility to enable them run the 24-hour service for the community. I use some of the health fund to support them. I also run clinics, that is free health screenings for them. It's not just simple malaria drugs. Yeah,
exactly. And even health insurance and
health
so on.
Health insurance, yeah.
But now that you mentioned the polyclinic, let's talk about the La General Hospital. It's been in the news since 2020 when it was brought down in order for it to be reconstructed. A lot of people have, strongly complained about the way work has gone on over the last 4 years. We have just been told that it will be ready in 24 or 28 months.
28, yeah.
Right? But before the health minister said that recently, you're one of the people who strongly complained about the on and off approach towards reconstructing the hospital. How are things now?
Yeah. The La General Hospital, for that bit, the people of La, we are highly disappointed in the government. We are Ghanaians, and we need our fair share of the national cake, if I should put it that way. And the healthcare of the people, we need not toy with it. So we have done our bits, going for demonstrations, raising it on the floor of Parliament, talking to the then minister. And at the end of the day, they are the foundation level. And for me, I've been following it the
whole building or one phase?
The whole building.
They are the foundation level for the entire...
Yes, the entire project.
Okay.
Yes, and I've been following it greatly. I go there most often. And when they dug the foundation, I was there and I was monitoring, because one old man, 107 years old, invited me. And when I went, he told me, I want you to keep an eye on the foundation, because if they do not do the foundation well, the building will collapse in a few years. And may his soul rest in peace.
Oh, he passed.
Yeah, he passed just recently. Yeah.
But do you believe that the 28-month period that we have been promised will be able to raise the building by that time?
The 28 months should be.
Okay.
But they said something like, if you listen to the minister, they said by October, November, the OPD will be ready and accessible. And for that bit of it, I don't believe it. But the 28 months, they need to work within that schedule to ensure that they are going to do the right thing. And the 28 months, they have started. The NPP administration who demolished it has started, and I believe the NDC administration, when we come into power, His Excellency John Dramani Mahama, who has done it before, we know the various hospitals he has put up across the Bank of Ghana, the University Hospital Dodowa, and a whole lot of health facilities. He will come and complete it.
Do you believe that demolishing the hospital at the time it was demolished was the right thing to do?
The main building, per the structural integrity report, was not in good shape, but there were other facilities around it that were new. And so we were expecting that they would have pulled down the main facility and left the other ones to run, but they didn't do that. And so the people of La were found wanting, running here and there, and a lot of people lost their lives, believe you me.
That's very unfortunate.
Yeah.
Well, we've been talking to some of your constituents this morning on what would inform your decision to vote this year, and this is what they had to say.
The hospital, La General Hospital, that is no more. Currently, construction is ongoing, but the pace at which construction is ongoing is very abysmal. I happen to ply the road, so, you know, sometimes you peep through. Now, some sort of foundation has been laid, but it's almost as if we are at a standstill, and I think it's long overdue. That would be one of the most pressing things to me as an indigene here, because the population is huge.
We used to buy our kenkes and, you know, what come can be when you go here 5 cedi low 10 cedi go come you will get. But nowadays you even have 10 cedis and you can't even buy even Gary soakings. It's even a problem.
It looks like now the indigents, in fact, the people are losing interest in voting now. And so even now, if we have observed, candidates have to even now bribe people to vote for them, simply because when they promise us and they come into power, they don't fulfill their promises.
One who is concerned about education, I'm an educationist, so I would also say the state of our schools, especially the public schools, would need some form of facelift. We're practicing a new curriculum now, right? So it's only right that if we are moving knowledge-based things to another level, then the facility.
And these are the things that will inform your constituents on who to vote for.
Yeah.
And they spoke about the La General Hospital. But I'm a little more keen on representation in Parliament.
Okay.
We know that the Affirmative Action Bill has been in the works since 1998. The Gender Minister has been trying to push for it to be passed. It still has not been passed. What do you think is causing the delay? Is there a lack of political will?
I'm a member of the Gender Committee.
Yes,
and
you are.
I would say we have worked so hard for the Affirmative Action Bill to be passed. As we speak, the committee's report was laid on the floor of Parliament last week, and it was debated and accepted. And so we are now going to the consideration stage where we'll do the clause-by-clause amendment. And I believe that before we leave this Parliament, the 8th Parliament, the Affirmative Action Bill is going to be passed. You know, sometimes when we talk about the Affirmative Action Bill, people think, oh, it's all about women. Yes, it's not all about women. Men are also included. But what we are looking at basically is the female representation, not just in Parliament, but across all spheres of life. And so we are pushing, and the men are supporting us, because on our committee, we have men. When it was brought on the floor of Parliament, that's the committee's report, the men also came up and then supported us.
I was recently talking to a colleague of yours who said that, look, now even if the EC decides that every constituency or all constituencies that have women on the ballot paper should not have the men representing at all, only the women should go. All right, so that we definitely have women in Parliament from those constituencies. We still would not have up to 40 or 50% women, because women are holding back and they do not want to put themselves up for election. What exactly is accounting for this? Why are women afraid to enter the world of politics?
Yeah, one of the issues I keep talking about is we are working with our male counterparts, and for me, I respect them a lot. I salute them, and I believe we all have to work as partners. When a woman doesn't do well, in quotes, the whole world is on her, all hell breaks loose. But when there is a male in the same position, not doing well, nobody sees it. Nobody talks about it. And that's one worry for me. And then with women in the political area, the insults. It's not everybody that can stand it. That the thing, most of the things they say are untrue. And people just come up to believe it. And so I believe it's high time the insults, I know it will not stop, but our male colleagues or our male counterparts, if we are going on elections with you, come up with the things that you would want to do for the people. Let's talk about issue-based politics, not about insults that, oh, this woman, she cannot do it. This woman, she has a husband, but she has a boyfriend. This woman's boyfriend is this. And those are the petty things, they talk about. I have had my fair share, but for me, I believe God has sent me on a mission, on an agenda, so that those things do not deter me.
How do you rise above?
Rise above these things?
Yes.
For me, they do not deter me. And I stay focused because we need the women there, not just women who are ready to do the job. And so I want to say that if you are coming into this game or you are coming into this arena, don't be deterred by those insults. They will definitely come.
When you cross over and finally get the position, so you are in the House, does it get easier? Do the negative comments and insults stop?
I'll say with this parliament that I'm in, the men are not like that. I've not had any experience where MPs are looking down upon their female colleagues. I haven't had that experience at all. And so for that one, I salute all of them in the House there.
That's amazing. I'm happy to hear that.
Yeah.
Now, we're going into elections 2024. You're running.
Yeah.
You hope to win.
Definitely.
You heard your constituents earlier.
Yeah.
They spoke about the roads.
Yeah.
They spoke about the hospital, which you have spoken about, but the roads.
Yeah.
I am in La often.
Yeah.
All right. And so I know that the roads have been in a bad shape for a very long time. What have you done about it so far?
Thank you very much. You know, with Parliament, if there are issues in your constituency, you need to write a question or pose a question to the sector minister. I have done that, but my question has not come up. So the minister has not come. And so the next thing I did is I've written a letter to the minister, and last week the director of urban roads called me that they have received my letter and they are going to work on it. And they have given me the assurance that the portions of the road that are bad, they are going to move onto the road ASAP, and they are in talks with the contractors. And so,
but it's been like this for a very long time.
Oh, I've been on the road.
You've been
I've
in the
been
House.
Yes, but I've been on the road. I've gone with the media, and I've come up with it
since 2020.
No, this one is not since 2020. The beach road. Yeah. So when they started, we thought it was work in progress. And then along the line, they just halted the progress, the works. And I've been on the road with the Traditional Council. We've been on it with the roads minister. We've been on it with urban roads. The whole roads.
Why do you think they haven't taken steps to actually go ahead and complete the road?
They haven't paid the contractor, and they're saying there's no money. And for these small portions on the La Beach Road, I don't think you should tell us that. It's the main road that it's not just the people of La who ply the road. Yeah. People from all areas ply that road. And so if you say there is no money to complete those sections of the road, for me, I will not accept it. And so I think they should... Have
you been able to do any further lobbying to ensure that this is done? Because that road has been bad for a very long time.
The former minister, I spoke to him severally on this road. So it's not that...
Beyond speaking, what else can you do? Is there any more lobbying you can do?
The lobbying is you talk to him, he gets the contractors to move on site.
If the minister does not move? So, nothing?
Nothing. So for us, then the people will go on the streets, will do our demonstrations and all that. But the onus lies on the sector minister to get the contractors to come to site. And so when something was not being done, then I wrote the letter informing them of the state of the road in case they have forgotten. And so, like I said, they've called me last week, and they said they are moving on the road very soon.
What do you say to people who think that this is politics? They're playing politics with this construction because you are an NDC member of parliament. And so they are not bringing development to your constituency.
Yeah, they've decided not to bring a lot of development to our constituency. But for the road, you know, you don't have to play politics. For the general hospital, you don't have to play politics. The people who ply the road are not just NDC people. The people in Dadekotopon are all not NDC. And so if you are going to play politics with it, we are all Ghanaians. And we need our fair share. The people of Ghana need their fair share. People from Aplau ply the road. People from Adan ply the road. People from Takrady.
Yes, I come from Teshi and I ply that road, so I know how bad it is.
And so it's very bad. And you know, recently, I think about a month ago, after I had sent my letter, I saw them on the road. So I quickly went there. I thought they were coming to work. They just put some chippings on it. And they said they were dressing up the road. How do you dress up the road like that? And then the chippings all started falling apart. And the road is back to the bad state in which it is now. And so, as they have said and they have promised, today they should let us believe them for once. The lies have been too many. And so, even with the hospital, the lies the former minister told were too many.
Are you going to lead a protest?
I will. So we are waiting. I'll keep following up. For me, I don't know stop. Until I see that the thing is being done. And so sometimes it's very frustrating, and the constituents will think you are not doing anything about it.
Exactly. I was coming to that because, you know, we have elections coming up, and if we have been waiting, I'm not a member of your constituency, but your constituents have been waiting all these years for something to be done, and nothing is done. Don't you think that it could lead them to vote against you?
No, they won't vote against me.
They won't vote against you.
You know, when I was the municipal chief executive, when you look at Chadu, there were no roads, there were no tarred roads there.
Yes, it was bush road at that time.
It was bush road at that time.
Yes.
When we go to urban roads, as municipal chief executive, I lobbied so much, and we got Oswald they awarded a contract, and then that company...
The Mahama Road.
Yes, then the Chado main road.
Okay.
And now we can see that we are doing more inner roads in Chado.
Yes.
And so for me, with roads, I believe when roads are properly constructed,
it brings development.
It brings development because people get to work earlier, people get to do their things faster.
Yes.
And so for me, I really...
If you had anything to do with the Chado roads, then congratulations, because it's one of the best, laid out inner city roads we have at this side of town.
Yeah.
Now, let's talk about the Hands Off Our Hotels demonstration. Now, that took place in your constituency as well. Did you participate? I was one of the forerunners of this demonstration. How did that go? It went very well. Okay. Because we are saying that the hotels are in our constituency, so we joined the demonstration, and the hotel brings a lot of, creates a lot of employment for our people. And if they are going to give it to private people, how are we sure our people are going to be employed, or they'll be laid redundant? All right. Yeah. Okay. So for the hotel, we are calling on government not to sell it. Not to sell it. Because Labadi Beach Hotel is making a lot of money. It's generating a lot, and people are coming every day. The place is full. Yes. So government, we are appealing to you: do not sell the hotels in Dadekotopon. Unfortunately, we have to end our conversation now. Unfortunately, we've already run 30 minutes. Wow. Yes, but thank you so much for coming. Yeah. It's been great catching up with you. I hope we can do it again. Yeah. And all the best going into 2024 elections. Yeah, so I want to tell my people, the good people of Dadekotopon, 7 December, vote for Rita na Odoley Sowah. Nye fonshiki anye hami, Rita na Odoley Sowah. Ni chuma kwakwa ni nkenya nchue, maya no ni nkenya achun, traditional council, Muslim community, all the traditionalists, the religious bodies. Mofemo, NDC, MPP, everybody vote for Rita na Odoley Sowah to continue the development in which we are. And then the Nyaokokwa Skills Training Program, you know, it's a training program that is helping our ladies and the youth out there. So please support me to continue the good works. God bless you. Amen. And that's it for Female Factor today. We've been talking to Honorable Rita na Odoley Sowah. She is the MP for Dadekotopon. Up next, I'm going to be hanging out with Ajete Anand, with DeLong, and with Peter. We're going to be talking about filmmaking from script to actually seeing the magic of movies. Stay tuned.